And it's kind of overcast now, but not too bad of a day out the back of the shop. Don't have to run the air conditioning yet. Saw is absolutely filthy. I need to clean it. Well, this is my illustrious deburring bench. And I just kind of have a list here of all the items I use here, where I get them from, part numbers, so it's easy to reorder stuff when I run out. Then there's the bag for the dual stage vacuum system, which really is just a 5-gallon bucket with a lid on it from a discount import tool store, and that's where the blower came from. This is just it's actually not a buffer at all. This is a Black & Decker bench grinder that I took all the guarding off of and painted gray, and seems to work as pretty good as a buffer. And then I've got a dust shield that goes around it that was just made out of a utility tote from a hardware store. And then the vacuum system is just hooked up to these floor drains. And then the whole thing's just held down with some thumb screws, so if you have larger parts and you need better access to the buffing wheels, you can just take it off. Just kind of a storage thing I made that's got roll-lock discs and Scotch-Brite pads in it. And then just some drawers that have more miscellaneous tooling and whatnot in it. And a little deal to hold my sandpaper. Then I got some storage for my some buffing wheels and flap discs. Some more deburring tools. Then you'll notice I've got this tool balancer set up. And believe it or not, the only piece on it that I bought that's specifically for a tool balancer are the tool balancers. It's made out of electrical unistrut. Even the brackets and even the little roller deals that the tool balancers roll around on is all unistrut. There's some 80-20 brackets, but I mean all I really made that I made from scratch were a couple of straps of steel on either end, and then this kind of little doodad here that holds the pneumatic tool in place. I made those out of brass and a U-bolt from the hardware store. And then I have a bunch of pneumatic tools here, and this is just a piece of angle steel that I just laid out some cutouts on, cut it out on the manual mill. A stack bin drawer I added, and then just a kind of like a little pegboard deal to hold some miscellaneous tools. These are special sockets that hold taps, so you can use a pneumatic ratchet with them. Then just a manifold, pneumatic manifold, so everything is plugged in all the time, so I don't have to plug in and unplug things. Main machine workbench, stores tool holders, pneumatic ratchet, vice handle, tightening fixture, collets, and nothing really special. Something that I added to my deburring bench is actually this, I think it's actually like a floor protector, or like a floor mat to walk on. Got it from US Plastics, and it's really coarse, which lets chips and stuff as you're deburring fall through, and then it's actually kind of got a waviness to it, so that when you put a part down on it, you've got very few, I don't know if you can see it, but very few contact points, so you can, I don't know, deburr pretty aggressively and carelessly and not scratch your parts up. And then I've got, you know, kind of a corrugated, I don't know, rubber mat also to protect the Formica on the bench. But then also too, when you're deburring stuff, kind of let stuff fall down and has a lot less surface contact with your parts, and so you're far less likely to scratch them up. I've been pretty happy deburring on top of it. This is just another view of my tool balancer system that I made out of Unistrut. And even those trolleys are from Unistrut. Got most everything from MasterCar. It wasn't that expensive to build. To turn the vacuum system on and off, I just use a wet location switch cover. And one thing that you do is you want to make sure that the switch that you buy is the highest current rating switch there is, because you're going to be turning this vacuum on and off with it quite a bit. I think a regular light switch probably would eventually die, whereas if you get one that's, I don't know, whatever the highest one the hardware store has, I think your chances of it lasting is a lot better. Here's just more views of the vacuum system. A lot of PVC and whatnot. I generally always try to use as much stuff from the hardware store as I can because it's a lot cheaper than buying actual woodworking vacuum system stuff, and you don't have to order it, you can just get it from the hardware store. This is another workbench that I made for my manual mill. It's got a stack bin drawer tooling in it, and then kind of a small countertop that I've got 5C collets and R8 tooling, some other miscellaneous stuff. And then I've got this other tool board here on the end of it that has, you know, other miscellaneous tools that you need for running the manual mill. This is another vacuum bench that I made. It has an inexpensive carbide grinder, and then for being made in Taiwan, a very expensive bench grinder. This one was almost as expensive as a Baldor, but you get what you pay for because it's a really nice grinder as far as like the dust collection. And then for the carbide grinder, I just have a, I don't know, gigantic oversized lock line stuff that I bought. And then it's got, again, an import tool store blower and a dual stage dust collection system. This one has blast gates on it, and they seem to hold up okay, but I had another bench where they didn't, so that's the reason on the other benches I use a bathtub drain and just set it over the vacuum port. And it was made out of another stand from an import tool store, and you know, essentially just made two countertops and added casters, and I don't know, you have a pretty handy bench that has, I don't know, grinding stuff on it. This is another bench that I made. It's got a vacuum system on it from import tool store, dual stage dust collection made out of a bucket, and another item from a tool store. Inexpensive buffer and sander. The same deal, floor drains for vacuum ports. And the stand is made, also from an import tool store. Then I just made a couple of countertops and painted things and kind of integrated them together. Well, this is one of my newest additions to the shop. This machine's got a PC-based CNC control. I bought a really expensive industrial keyboard, and after about 3 years, the escape key stopped working on it. And so this is a quote medical grade keyboard that's supposed to have a membrane keypad under it and make it pretty resilient to water, and you're supposed to be able to wash it, and it's meant for, I guess, hospitals. I haven't tore the thing apart to actually see how it works, and I'm not going to, but so far it's holding up pretty good. It has a really nice feel to it. It's not like an industrial keyboard that is kind of hard to type on, but it should be heavy duty enough though that it's not going to wear out real quick. Actually, believe it or not, it actually fits the keyboard tray better than the keyboard that the machine came with. Well, the sun's out and it's nice again. Still kind of cloudy by the mountains. Well, the field's nice and green though. And that's what the shop looks like. Not real exciting. And working on some motorcycles over there.